Hey, welcome back to Engels Peekaboo. Thank you very much for watching. A peekaboo card can be as easy and simple as this one. If you add the extra fold, it looks great and it's still easy to make, and it's a fancy fold card as well. See? On the back piece you can write your message. It's a standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is 10.8 by 14 centimeters. You can find all the details on my blog. The link is in the description box below. In this video you can also see how you can make this splotchy background. So come and join me. I will show you what supplies I have used. The Sweet Pea stamp set. I've used the Everyday Details dies to cut the circles in the card and for the circle embellishments. I've already made the embellishments to keep this video just a bit shorter. I've coloured them with the stamping blends, and then I'm going to use a blending brush, this little device, and my ink is Granny Apple Green Lemon Lime Twist and Shaded Spruce. This, by the way, is for the splotchy background. I had been using a plastic bag to make splotchy backgrounds before, but a shout out to NB Cards on YouTube. I saw a video that she made where she made this handy little thing. It's easy to hold like that and then you can make the background. I'll show you later. The cardstock that I'm using is, as I said, a piece of basic white, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. That's the front piece. And then for the back piece with the fold, this is 4 1/4 by 9 5/16. That may sound difficult, but it's just one little notch over 9 1/4. And I do this on purpose because I want the fold to be just a bit shorter, like this, so that it ends up not exactly in that fold, but just before that, so that it's easy to put the card together and put it in the envelope. That's why I have the strange measurement. In centimeters, that would be 10.8 by 14, and this one is 10.8 by 23.6 centimeters. With the long side top, you're going to score this at 5 1/2 inches, so let me go and do that. This is for the back piece, so 5 1/2. And this one I'm going to score just a bit later because I'm going to do the decoration first of all. And while I'm working on the back piece, why not finish it while I have it out here with my bone fold? I'll make sure that this is a nice crisp crease line. And then I'm going to use my dies to make the peekaboo hole, and I want this one, and I'm going to use this one as well for, I'll show you again, for the sentiment on the inside of the card. So let me put these things back and over here. Now I want my hole to be just slightly towards the bottom corner, so I'm going to fix that, and then I'm going to run it through my die cut machine like this. You don't want the hole in that side as well. And then the joy of poking all these bits out. Where did I put my tool for that? Oh, put it back. See? And of course this die too. And if you use your brush tip attachment, it's easy to get them all out. For making quite a few of these cards the past few days, and you should see my craft room at the end of the day, because these bits do tend to go everywhere. But there you have it. Okay, so that's one is clear. This one too, I'll clear those little pieces. You could use the pokey end or you could try the brush tip. and then get rid of these little thingies. You could use your hands. A tip for you, you may have seen this already, one of those clothes brushes, see? Gets rid of them really quickly. Okay, don't throw away this piece because I'm going to die cut one more time with that smaller die, and then I can stamp on that. So let me go and do that as well. Let me put it in the middle, put on 2 pieces of tape. This I will discard. It happens to be centered, so I could use it, but I'm not going to. And then again, I'm going to poke out all these little bits and pieces. I'll go and do that, and when I finish doing that, I'll be back with you. Okay, meanwhile, I've set things up for stamping. I have my 2 embellishments and the one that I just made. I'm going to do stamping on the back piece to start with. And I'm going to need the small leaf. I think, let me just check my, yeah, the small leaf and the sentiment happy birthday. So I've turned my Peekaboo card into a Peekaboo card, and I'm going to stamp colour on colour, so granny apple green onto granny apple green. And I'll start with the sentiment. Ink up the stamp, check it's well inked, and then center it. And that looks okay to me. Right, and then I'm going to stamp these little leaves in the corner. One there and one there. Okay. Then I can put my sentiment in on the back piece, and that's quite easy to do. I want this one without the birthday hat to go on the front later on, so I'll put it over there, and I'm going to put this one in because when people open the card they see the birthday card with the blow tickler and the little hat. So you just keep it flat like this, and you put some, and I'm putting a tiny bit of seal in the middle and then liquid glue around it, because I want to be able to slide it around a bit. Now don't put the glue too near the holes, because when you push down on it the glue will spread and you might get glue peeking through the holes, which would mess up your card. So I am putting it in, and it will float momentarily on the liquid glue, and then I push down in the middle, and then it's fixed, and then I can go around and making sure it attaches well. So just leave it there for a minute. See, when you put this one over, it's lovely and in the middle. So that's the back piece of the card finished. Okay, then the front piece, and I promised to show you the splotchy background with this technique, and I'll do the colouring before I do the scoring, and also colour both sides, because if you open the card and this is all white, that looks really silly. So I need a plastic background because I'm going to use ink and water. And there we go. I'm going to, what shall I do first? I'll put on the background first before I put on the splotches. So with my blending brush, I'm going to very lightly colour the background with the lightest colour. This is Lemon Lime Twist. That's my phone in the background. That's an app playing. Do you have this too? I have different melodies for all the apps I have, so that I know what people are trying to send me an app message. This was what I call the family app, but it can't be anything urgent. So I'll just continue filming. My husband always looks at me, why do you have all these different melodies? Well, I like knowing who's sending me an app. That's all. Okay, so this is the background with my blending brush, very lightly coloured. And then I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green for the splotchy background. And first I'm going to remove that. Hang on. I had stopped filming there for a minute because I had forgotten to wet my cloths and they had all dried out, and that's because, well, it's been quite hot the last few days, in contrast to the weeks before when we had weeks of rain and rain and rain. Okay, so the splotchy background. You need the smoosher and some ink, and you need very little ink, so this is all that I'm using, and I've put it on my plastic sheet, and I'm going to use the stamping mist. This is not a stamping mist, I forgot what it's called. Well, anyway, I can spray onto this, and you see you get these splotches, and you tap off some and then you tap it onto the paper. And of course you can make it as dark as you like. I want a light hand, so a bit more there, and then on the back as well. And you see, be careful that you don't, hang on, that you don't get any splotches where you don't want them, so clean that off. And then I do the back. See, already had some there, but okay. Right. This end doesn't look very nice, but I'm going to put my fold there so nobody will notice that. Well, I'm happy with that. And then all I have to do is clean this off, taking a damp cloth again. And my plastic sheet will remain wet for a while, so I'm using a dry cloth to clean it off, and there you go. Okay, this isn't clean yet, is it? I'll clean that off, and you see it can be used again. There's a cotton wool and a bit of kitchen paper in there, and it's a plastic baggie. Right, so I'm going to score this one now that I have decorated it, and my score line is at, let me just check my notes, at 1.5 inches or 3.8 centimeters. So 1.5 inches, put a score line in there, okay, and then I'm going to fold this, and you see this is hardly noticeable now. And I want one more die to decorate the front. That's this one. I think it creates a nice effect on this long panel. So I'm going to put it in the middle on the grid line there, and then put this one on and center it. And then I'm going to die cut this as well. And again, I'm going to have to remove all these little bits and pieces, but I'll take them from the die later on. I don't want to bore you with all that. And I'm going to poke these tiny bits out, which are still in the cardstock. And that looks nice. And then with my clothes brush. Okay, now then, I'm going to do some more stamping on my card, see, there, and on the inside as well, what's going to be the inside. So I'll again take my Granny Apple Green ink, and I want the large leaf now. There it is. And the small one was still on my blog. You could see that I put some paper underneath my paper, because I would be stamping off, and then I would mess up my gold paper, which I want to use them up again. So now all I have to do is attach this card to that card, and I'm going to use my tear and tape for that. There should be enough room in the margin to get the tear and tape on, and I'm not using liquid glue here because there's just too many holes and I don't want the glue to seep out through those holes. And tear and tape, of course, is an adhesive that really sticks. I have a trick for you, because you know when it sticks as soon as it touches the paper, and of course you don't want it to be on crooked. So what I do is this: I poke out, or up if you like, some of the backing paper, and here too, and I want the backing paper to go towards the outside of the cardstock. This one too. Let me just pick it up and fold it back. See? So when I put it onto the card, these bits will stick out and I can remove them later, but I get some room to get the card on exactly where I want it. So because the cardstock won't touch everywhere, so I fix it here in this corner and this corner, push down, and now I can remove the backing and here as well, and it's in exactly the right spot, and you see it's all flush on all sides. Then it's easy enough to finish the card. I want my happy birthday to go on the inside, and I'm just putting it on some Seal Plus. You could use liquid glue as well, but this is quick. I want this one to go in the middle, and this one on the front I'm putting it on using dimensionals because I like the pop. Where did I put my trees? There they are. So I'm putting one in the middle and a couple around it. I don't want it to buckle. 5 may be excessive, but I want it to look great, so I'm removing the backing pieces. There we go. Oh, I just dropped them, not in my... I put them in the wrong bin, you see. This is where I keep my supplies, and this is the rubbish bin. Okay, I'll just sort that out later after filming. That's me. Okay, so these go on in the middle, and you have a cute card finished. Now the possibilities for decorating this card and finishing it off are of course many. You could use designer series paper on these panels if you wanted to, differently shaped dies, you could change your stamp set. It's still a great fancy fold, wouldn't you agree? Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Bye bye, tot ziens!